So I have Mr. Sinclair and Mrs. Dose here. The principal and vice principal are going to be next year. So I have some questions for you guys. So starting off, I have, what are you most excited about as you're going to be vice principal for you and principal for you? What are you guys most excited about?
Well, I'll start off. First of all, I'm just excited to be able to, for a new challenge, something different than I've been doing for the last 7 years. Mr. Polberg and I have worked side by side along with Mrs. Dose here for several years, and although we do a lot of the same things together, we're a team. I'm excited just for the challenge of kind of stepping into that role. And then, with Mrs. Dose being the assistant principal, we've worked very closely together over the last couple of years and just maintaining that team. And then, of course, we're going to add a dean of students, which is going to, kind of build our team up again. So just excited for the new challenge, being able to serve our students here at North Polk and our community in a different way.
And for me, a lot of my day-to-day is going to be the same with what I do now, but I'm just really excited to continue to grow and learn and be better with that day-to-day, and then some of the new responsibilities and opportunities that are going to come with being the assistant. So, just more leadership opportunities, but the biggest thing is I still get to work with kids every day and talk to kids, and I'm going to continue to look forward to that.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then why did you guys decide to apply?
Well, from my perspective, I really enjoy my job right now as assistant principal. I get to work with students every single day, and but I think as Mr. Polberg decided to move on to the next step, I started to consider, what was important to me, what was important for our school district. I've been here for 27 years, so this place really matters to me. And I started considering some of our challenges, some of the progress we've made over the last few years, and I thought, this was something I really was starting to get excited about, even though that wasn't really a goal of mine to start with, to be a principal ever. But when I started to think about that, when I knew Mr. Polberg was moving on, that really excited me. I thought I could do a good job, and we have a great team around us. We have a tremendous teaching staff, tremendous paraeducators, tremendous support staff, the best students in a really good community. So when I think about kind of continuing that tradition we have here and trying to grow that, it was really exciting, and that is a challenge I wanted to do. I was looking forward to it.
Then for you, Mrs. Dose?
Mr. Sinclair already said that. I work really well with Mr. Sinclair. He's been a great mentor and for me and role model. And as he moved in and his position opened up, again, the day-to-day is going to be very similar, and a lot of his day-to-day is things I already do. And so just taking that next step and getting that, getting more responsibility and just growing as an administrator and as a leader. I love North Polk. This is home to me. This is where my kids will go, and just kind of continuing to grow as the district grows.
And then who had inspired you guys to apply, or who made you guys want to apply? Was it yourself, or?
Well, I think for me it was just, for myself, anytime I make a decision, it wasn't necessarily one person. Mr. Polberg is, has a big influence on me. We've worked side by side together, but every time I make a big decision like this, I obviously spend some time in prayer. I talk to my wife very closely. She's my best friend and best confidant. And then, like I said, Mr. Polberg, and just through that, I decided it was the right choice for me.
Kind of similar. I work closely with Mr. Sinclair and Mr. Polberg, and when Mr. Sinclair moved up, just kind of talking to both of them, and then talking to Mr. Dose as well. Just he works in our system, and then just other people in my network, my professional network that I go to for advice, and I talk to, just reaching out to them. And so there's not really one specific person, just a lot of people that have empowered me to be an administrator, and supported me moving into this position.
I'm just finishing up some notes for that.
It's okay.
And then, what made you guys want to be a teacher, and when did you guys start?
That's been a long time ago for me. When I actually went to college, I thought I was gonna be a business major. And I got there and I realized I was a school kid. My dad was a teacher and a coach and a school administrator. He'd been an AD, he'd been a principal, he'd been a superintendent. And about after my first semester at college, I said, well, I want to be at schools. So from that point on, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher, I wanted to be a coach. I chose math because that's what I was best at, but more importantly, I just wanted to be around, I knew I wanted to be around schools where kids were, so I could coach and teach and just be a part of that process. It's, you know, we have this term in education where you're kind of a schoolhouse kid, which means your teachers or your parents were teachers and, you know, you grew up in the school all the time. And that's who I was, and that's just kind of how I've always been.
And for you, Mrs. Davis?
Again, similar, I actually graduated from Iowa with a business and communication studies degree. So I worked in sales for 2 years before I became a teacher. But within that, I had done some substitute teaching, and that was when I was like, oh, I really like being in a school. And so when I was working in sales, I actually went back to get my teaching degree. And then, so I've now been teaching for 14 years. But kind of moving into leadership, like I had a lot of great teachers, and I knew I kind of wanted to get my master's, but again, I had someone that mentored me and was like, I think you'd be really good. You handle some difficult conversations well. And so then I decided to go back to get my administrative degree, and here I am 14 years later. So I went a little bit non-traditional, but I think for me that was what I needed to do to know this was the right place for me.
And then,